Hi everyone, this is Julie Bruns. Welcome to the Peace and Possibilities podcast. I want you to thrive and be happy, peaceful, and content, no matter where you are on your journey. This podcast shares stories that will show you how it can be done, no matter what your circumstances. You'll be inspired and come away with a new spark of an idea. Never forget, anything is possible. New episodes are released every Wednesday. Subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. This helps others find our content and get happier sooner. To possibility and beyond. All right, so welcome to this episode of the Peace and Possibilities podcast, everyone. I'm doing a short series called Corona Conclusions, and today we are interviewing, you'll be hearing from my guest, Sam Bruns again. So this is kind of a follow-up to our original conversation back, was it March or April? I'm not even sure, about what it was like to start this whole quarantine process and how much it sucked and all of that. So we're back. It is October 2020, so 7 months later almost. And we've all learned a lot. We're all better people. We might be a little bit more stressed, but we're here to talk to Sam about some of the lessons that he's learned along the way over the summer, starting school and college, graduated high school in May with obviously no ceremony really. And then you started college. That's not the typical scenario either. So let's start with, thanks for joining me, first of all.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And I want to talk about the hardest things so far. So we'll start with something negative and then we'll finish with the other positive things that you learned. So as far as what's been the hardest thing so far in 2020 for you, starting with March all the way through October?
The first thing that comes to mind for me is sports. We just graduated and I didn't have a sport I was playing in the spring, so I wasn't really affected yet. And then we're all the way almost to winter time and our basketball season is becoming affected. We're having to wear masks during practice full time. There's no really clarity on whether we're going to have a season or not. And we've been putting in all this work over the off season and we're taking all these precautionary measures just to possibly not have a season. And that's honestly been the hardest thing for me so far. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I know some people don't play sports or some people have other endeavors that they do that can be done during this time. But for me specifically, it was not being able to play the sport I love. I've been playing this for basketball, but I've been playing basketball for 18 years now, and it's something I look forward to. It's something that like every year comes November, I'm like, oh, awesome. We're going to have our season. It's going to be awesome. And for us not to have that for sure now, I realize that I shouldn't have taken that for granted, shouldn't have complained about things as much, and realize that that's a really important thing in my life, and I shouldn't have taken that for granted.
Well, it's normal that, people enjoy what they enjoy, right? And until it's taken away or the threat of it's going to be taken away, you don't necessarily appreciate it. That's human nature. What else comes to mind if you don't take into account sports? What was it like over the summer not being able to do all the regular activities, like as far as the hardest thing leading up to college?
I don't know. I had this whole vision of how my senior year summer was supposed to go, getting to meet a lot of new people before school, going to parties, having fun grad parties, and all that was kind of taken away from me too, and that sucked as well. I mean, everyone thinks like their 18th birthday. My 18th birthday was during quarantine, and I kind of had to spend that at home, which was fine. I mean, I'm still alive. I'm still blessed to be alive, but we're all entitled to have those great memories to make. And sadly, those were kind of taken from me. My 18th birthday, my summer going into my freshman year of college. And I thought there would have been great memories to make during that time. But sadly, that's not what happened. And that was another very hard thing to deal with. Spending most days, most Fridays, Saturday nights at home. I was just kind of having to wait things out and see what happens. And it sucked. But, we're all going through the same thing right now. And
Right.
We're all going through it together. And we all just kind of have to figure out ways to be better people in general. And that's
yes, you're right. We do have to figure out new ways. So let's talk about that. So what's been the easiest thing? What's been easier than you thought it would be over the last several months?
That's a good question. I've honestly been able to see my friends a lot, and I'm very glad that I've been able to do that. At first, I thought, I'm never going to be able to see anybody. I'm going to stay in my house all the time. But we've realized that we can see each other when it comes to hanging out. But as long as we're safe and we do things with precaution, we can still have fun and see each other, which is really nice. And I can still have my friend in my dorm room to play some video games, or we can go shoot hoops outside. So I'm glad that we're still having these options to go hang out, see each other, enjoy quality time, and even through this pandemic. So I felt like that was very easy, and I'm glad that was an easy part of this.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I'm glad it was easier than we thought it was going to be. I mean, obviously in the beginning, everyone was more scared and you should still be safe, but there are ways to see people being outside. I was just outside for a long walk in Chicago today, and it's like just because we have to be in, wearing masks and staying 6 feet apart doesn't mean we can't go enjoy things. I saw people sitting on blankets on the lake. I saw people in the grass in the middle of the park, just sitting 6 feet apart, talking, and people out eating and drinking, and people's on boats and all kinds of things. So it's like there's all things, you got to take advantage of all the things you can do instead of thinking about what you're not able to do, because that's not going to make you any happier anyways.
Doing those things, going out and playing basketball, or going for a walk with somebody, eating outside, kind of makes you forget about what's going on, and kind of brings the mood up a little bit, and just says, hey, it's not that bad. It's bad, but we all can deal with it. We all can make adjustments.
And all those things make your mood better, even when everything's normal and we're not going through something crazy like this. So we need it more now than ever, because we have to be, being outside safer. So what's been the nicest surprise? What have you been most surprised about in a good way?
Most surprised about? That's also very good question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been surprised honestly about how long this has all gone on. We have a lot of smart people who dedicate their life and their work and their studies to stuff like this, and it's been going on for a while, and just shows the severity of it. And it's very surprising. Back in March, I thought this was all going to be over, hopefully, by summertime. Now we're still having to wear masks during our sports, or during class, or honestly around campus have to wear my mask. And back in March, I didn't think this was going to be the case, and sadly, it's taken longer to deal with than most of us thought. So that's been very surprising for me. And
what's been the nicest surprise? What's been the
nicest
best?
surprise? Okay, nicest surprise. That's a good transition. Nicest surprise, I guess, as time went on, things were becoming less and less sure, and things were becoming less and less clear about what was going to happen. And I'm surprised that we were actually able to be on campus right now, and being able to still enjoy time with friends, and still be able to play the sports that we all love. And in late August, early August, late July, we all thought that we weren't going to be able to be on campus. But they made adjustments. We made adjustments, and we were able to be on campus. Have a roommate, live in a dorm, have all those college experiences, go to classes every now and then. And that was a very good surprise. I was kind of expecting the worst, and we weren't going to be able to be in school right now, but very glad that we were able to.
Yeah, I'm glad that people, everyone all over the country obviously is going through the same thing, and it's been different for different schools. You're at a smaller school, so it's been a little bit easier to manage. I feel bad for those people that have, 40,000 people going, just trying to figure it out. It's stressful for everyone. I'm glad you were able to have a little bit of that, and it seems like, little by little, they're making the best of it, and they're trying to figure out ways that are going to be sustainable for all you guys. So everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants it to go back to normal. No one's sitting around having meetings saying, like, how can we really make this suck for these college kids? They want it to be good too. Right. So everyone's working at it, that's for sure. Okay, what will you never take for granted again?
I remember specifically January 2019, me sitting with my friends in my friends' houses and watching the clock go from 10 to 0 in 2020. And I never would have thought that, whatever, 8 months later, 9 months later, that we would all have to be wearing masks, and we'd all have to be social distancing, and wouldn't be able to play sports. And I couldn't imagine. I never thought that could be a possibility to happen. And I think I'm never going to take sports for granted again. I'm never going to take time spent with my friends for granted again. And more specifically, I'm always going to take that extra leap and always going to make the extra effort to meet new people, to try new things, to enjoy what I'm around, because we all know things can be taken away from us so quickly, and that just shows that we should enjoy every single second that we're here, because we have no idea what's coming for us. We have no idea what's going to happen. But if we're just enjoying everything and making the best out of what happens, then it's a win. It's a good thing to come out. And I just saw this quote a little bit ago. It says, "The happiest people don't have everything, but they make the best of everything." And I like that. And another formation of that was, sorry, I think I got it wrong, but I think the happiest people don't have the best of everything. They make the best of what they have. So they don't have a lot of things, but they make the best of it. And those are the happiest people.
Yes. Sheryl Crow, do you remember
You
Sheryl
see all
Crow?
these people who have a lot of money, who have fame, but they're not as happy, right? Huh?
Sorry, go ahead. I stopped you because you froze a little bit, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying that all the successful people, the happy people you see are people who have a lot of love and have a lot of friends, not people who have a lot of money in most cases. You see these rich individuals who live in these awesome houses, and a lot of times they're not happy. They don't have a great family life, or they don't have a relationship with certain people that they would like to because of money. And I feel like the happier people make the most of what they have rather than try to get everything they can.
There's a great Sheryl Crow song called "Soak Up the Sun," and in it she says, "It's not having what you want; it's wanting what you've got." And that just goes back to the looking around and saying, okay, yes, it'd be great if you didn't have to wear masks right now on campus. Yes, it'd be great if you could go to all your classes in person. But appreciating the fact that you can live independently in your dorm right now and pick up your nice laptop and go to a beautiful building and look at the lake and have, and do your class online that way, and not sitting in your bedroom in, XYZ suburb of the United States of America and not around anyone else. So it's appreciating what you have and what you're able to do. And then, like you said, when you are, we're back to more normal things, you're never going to take for granted those things that you were loving before. You didn't really do that anyways very much. You were pretty good about appreciating things, but more and more people will say wow, even just me walking down the street and not having a mask on and, putting one on when someone walks up to you and having to go into a store. And I mean, obviously we're all doing that, but those things obviously everybody took that for granted, not being sweating when you're going into the store with a mask over you and trying to talk to someone and not being able to hear or see what they're saying. Those are all things I definitely took for granted before, and I'm never going to take that for granted again. I'm probably going to say that every day. We don't have to wear them anymore.
But at the end of the day, we're all going to come out of this with more experiences and more strength that will help us and make us better people at the end. We're definitely going to be able to be better problem solvers. We're going to be better under pressure, and we're going to be better under stress after dealing with everything that's going on now. So it's a big test, but so we just learn how to deal with it. It's just going to make us better people.
It is. It's just thought of it at this moment, but I mean, it's an even playing field, and it's never have we been in a situation like this where every single country in the world is experiencing something similar. Because usually it's if something happens to the United States, it's not happening to the same countries that far away, wherever in Europe, we're having the market crash or something like that. It happens in Europe or these other countries and continents, and it's not happening to us. But this is the first time in my life in 50 years that I can remember it's not everyone across the globe is going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. Some areas obviously it's worse than others, but it really does even the playing field, and it reminds us we're really all in the same boat. Yeah. All right. Any closing comments you'd like to share?
I think one more question that'd be nice to address is best advice for kids of my age or maybe adults, whoever. I think a couple pieces of advice for people who maybe be sophomores in high school, juniors who are trying to decide on colleges or trying to deal with this on their own. And I just wanted to say that, I think that this has taught us that we should just take the extra step and take the leap and go for it. Whatever you want, just go for it, because like we were talking about before, you never know what can be taken away from you. So if there's this starting spot on the team that you want, if you want to be ranked number one in your class, if you want this job that only that 50 people are up for, go for it. Take the extra step, do whatever you have to do to make it happen, because you never know when that can be taken away from you. When it's taken away from you, you will never be able to do it ever again. Even if it's the girl you want to go introduce yourself to, even if it's anything in that sense, just go for it, because what do you have to lose right now, right? I mean, you can make all these great new memories, and you can make yourself happier if you just work hard and put all your effort to this one task, whatever you need to do, because like we said, it can easily be taken away from you, and I think that's a good lesson for everybody. If you're looking for that sign to go do something right now and to go put yourself out there, go do it. Because,
I like it.
Yeah. And
great advice.
You didn't know if this was the right time to start your business, or the right time to whatever. You didn't know if this was going to be good going on with the pandemic right now, but you took the risk. You through all these circumstances still did what you wanted to do, and now you're happier than ever, and you're glad that you did it. But let's just say you didn't do that and you waited longer. Who knows if you would have been happier, or things would have been worse, or who knows. But you did it, you're happier, and at the end of the day, that's what we all want to achieve, right? Is happiness. And if we put ourselves out there and we take that risk, we're going to make ourselves happier.
It's great advice. If you're taking the risk, and if it doesn't immediately end in happiness, that doesn't necessarily mean you made the wrong decision. It just means there's an obstacle you didn't realize was going to be there. So it doesn't mean you should give up. It just means, but you're definitely not going to have those big rewards unless you take the risk.
Right. And let's just say you go for that one girl or one guy or significant other that you want, and it doesn't work out, that rejection or that failed relationship will end up leading you to your happiness, your one true significant other. So if you want to look at it that way, every rejection from now until you find your wife or your husband, all these rejections will help you get to that point. If you never got rejected by that one person, you're never going to be able to find that love of your life that you're going to spend the rest of your life. Right?
It's great advice. It works the same way with careers.
Anything,
you lose a job, you get laid off, you didn't get the job you thought you wanted, then you get another job. That happened to me. It's all the same scenario, which is
all perspective.
Life is perspective. And the great Tony Robbins, his quote, one of his many awesome quotes is, life is happening for you, not to you. So think about that rejection or that missed opportunity as something that's happening for you, not to you. You got rejected because there's something even better around the corner.
Right.
Good advice. Thanks, Sam.
We all want love and friendship and happiness, right? And we still have that right now, don't we? We all have loved ones. We're all doing what we love right now, and we shouldn't take that for granted either. You shouldn't let one little thing ruin your day. Can I say one more thing really quick? One more good piece of advice before we head off. If you had $10,000 then, and you dropped $1, you wouldn't let it ruin your day, right? You have $9,999 other dollars, right? So you're not gonna let that ruin your day, right?
Right.
So if someone, let's just say someone ruins 10 seconds of your day, someone does something that you don't like, you're gonna let most people let that ruin their day. Why? If you lost $10 and you had 10,000 other dollars, you're not gonna let that ruin your day, right?
You're right.
So don't let 10 seconds of a bad part of your day ruin the 10,000 seconds you have in that the rest of that day.
I've never heard it explained that way. That's awesome advice. You're right. You're right. It's one little interaction, whether it was 10 seconds or 10 minutes. Why would you let that ruin the rest of all of the good things?
Why give someone else the power to ruin your day?
Yeah.
No one should want to be vulnerable that way and give people power to have that big of an impact on their day in such a short amount of time.
Very, very true. Great advice. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, if anyone needs that sign right now to go do it, go do it. Don't wait any longer.
Just do it.
Just do it. Exactly.
Is that what your Nike emblem says right now? Are you wearing Nike?
Not all of it, but
everyone just do it. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. If you love this content, please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or whichever platform you found us on. You can get all my social media links in the description below. Help us keep the momentum going so that every person can live their lives happily, doing work they love.